I've watched a lot of their setup videos, but they feel kinda repetitive because most of them just seems to be products from the same few brands. I want to cover things that have truly made a difference in my life, and these are all products that I've bought with my own money. The first one, smart plugs and smart switches. These smart devices save me so much trouble. I make my YouTube videos in my humble little bedroom over here, and when I'm trying to pack 2 desks, 2 filming lights and a bed into such a small space, it's very easy to trip on my cables or the legs of my light stands. But with smart plugs and smart switches, I can avoid all of these issues. With one tap of a button, I can turn on both of my lights without having to risk knocking into anything. With another tap of a button, I can switch on my standing desk, chargers, dock and monitor without having to manually switch on 4 separate switches. This is especially useful if you're using a desk with a built-in cable management system because it can be quite tough to reach the switches once you have hidden all the plugs and cables away. The brand that I'm using is this brand called Tapo because they are pretty budget friendly, and initially I wasn't really sure if I'm going to fully commit to this smart home system, but I have to say that their devices aren't the most reliable right out of the box. I had to buy and install some special hardware and software in order to make it work flawlessly. But you can always opt for some other brands since many of them offer similar functions. Next up, a charging station. A charging station is different from a regular multi-port charger that you're probably familiar with because charging stations come with a power cable, and this lets you place the charging station on your tabletop instead of being attached to your multi-plug. So this makes it far easier for you to switch out your charging cables from your desk. Also, a charging station is usually able to handle much higher wattages than a multi-port charger because it is larger and so it's able to dissipate heat better. This means that you won't need multiple high wattage chargers to charge your power-hungry devices. The one that I have is the Anker 250 watt charging station with 140 watts of maximum output from a single port. It has a screen for me to monitor the output wattage at each port, which is helpful when there are many devices connected to it and you're not really sure how the power distribution is like for each device. And what's even better is that you can actually turn this Anker charging station into a digital clock by turning the screen into the clock screensaver. So it's great for using it as a bedside clock as well. However, the downside to a charging station is that the entire length of the charging cable will be on your desk, so it's more difficult to hide them away. But here is where ultra short USB-C cables come in, which is the next item on this list. I think ultra short USB-C cables are pretty underrated and I haven't really seen many other reviewers cover this. If you were to look at your desk right now, there's probably quite a few devices that don't require long USB-C cables. For example, if you have an external SSD, it's gonna stay near your laptop or your dock anyway, so there's really no need to use a long cable for that. If you have a charging station on your tabletop, you can place your devices near the charging station and use a short USB-C cable instead. And this lets you charge your devices without all the mess that long cables can create. Besides, short USB-C cables can also make the insides of your bag less cluttered if you do bring them out, and you no longer get the ball of entangled mess while charging with your portable power bank. My favorite one is this one from Hagibis, which costs about 10 Singapore dollars and can transmit 40 gigabits of data per second and also deliver 240 watts of power. I have also covered 2 other brands of ultra-short USB-C cables before on this channel. I'll leave the link in the description below. Next up, wireless chargers. While we are on the topic of cable clutter, I think that wireless chargers are something that I didn't know could be so useful. With a 3-in-1 wireless charger, I just need a single cable connected to the charger instead of 3 separate cables to charge my iPhone, Apple Watch and AirPods. For the longest time, I avoided wireless charging because of how warm my devices get when charging, but that issue has been completely resolved after using this Aukey Magfusion Qi 2 wireless charger with active cooling. It uses thermoelectric cooling to cool down your phone, which is the same technology that phone coolers have to cool down mobile phones during intensive gaming. It keeps the iPhone nearly 15 degrees Celsius cooler than Apple's own 25 watts MagSafe charger, while having practically the same charging speed, even though this is a 15 watts Qi 2 charger, while Apple's one is 25 watts. You'll still feel some warmth at the top part of your phone though, but the phone is so much cooler compared to the 25 watts Apple charger. However, do take note that the cooling mechanism is only for the iPhone charger and not for the watch and AirPods charger. But you can also charge your AirPods using the iPhone wireless charger as well, so it will benefit from the active cooling. And I also want to mention that the cooling effectiveness is the most optimal when you charge without your phone case on, because the phone case would act as a layer of insulation and reduce the cooling effect. By the way, if you are enjoying the content so far, do follow me on Instagram as I post my day-to-day usage of the products that I review on this channel. And you can also follow me on X, where I share my creator journey and the things I'm currently working on. Next up, plants. I seldom hear reviewers mention about plants, maybe because you can't get an affiliate commission from promoting plants. But there are a number of research showing that adding plants to your environment can boost your mood and focus, and also reduce your overall perception of stress. That is also why you'll see many buildings and offices have plants that are strategically placed around the environment. Personally, I think the green from plants is just a calming color overall, so I think it's worth adding some plants in your room for that natural, relaxing vibe. And it's also really therapeutic to see your own plants grow over time, and I love to just spend time admiring the leaves. But if your room doesn't have sufficient natural light or you don't want to maintain the plant, you don't actually need to get live plants. Artificial plants also have a mood-lifting effect simply by adding more greenery to your room. I have this 1.6 meter artificial plant here beside my bed, as well as some smaller ones lying around in my room. Next up, wallpapers. A boring and dull desk setup can make it quite a dread to kickstart the inertia that we need to start doing our work. Maybe I'm biased because I sell wallpapers, but I think switching up your wallpaper can make a super big difference in the overall feel of your desk setup. And I think that the wider your monitor is, the more significant wallpapers become, because a wider monitor will occupy more presence in your room. Whenever I get a little bored of my desk setup, I will just change my wallpaper and it looks like I have a whole new setup without spending a single cent. I like to use wallpapers of plants because I want to add more of that calming greenery to my room. If you're on a Mac, you can actually go to Settings, type Wallpaper, and you can choose a folder with all the wallpapers that you like. It will automatically rotate the wallpaper so your desk setup gets a renewed look all the time. Next up, a docking station. This is the last item on this list and it's also the most expensive item. For the longest time, I was using a dongle with my MacBook Air until I got seriously frustrated with having to disconnect one device and connect another one because I ran out of ports. So I got this one from CalDigit, which has 18 ports in total. Most docks only have 10 to 11 ports, and not all of their ports have the same high transfer speed. On this CalDigit TS4 dock that I'm using, every single USB-A and USB-C port supports 10 gigabits per second of transfer speed, so there's no compromise no matter which port you are using. Both the microSD and SD card readers are compatible with the UHS-2 memory cards, which is excellent for transferring large video files quickly. Again, this is something that very few docks support. It also provides 98 watts of charging to your main laptop, and even when your laptop is not connected, the dock will still continue to charge whatever devices you have connected to it, so it can serve as a charging station as well. Now, I do know that this is an expensive dock, which costs nearly 500 Singapore dollars, and I know that it's not for everyone. But I'm the kind of person who doesn't mind investing into a premium product if it means that I don't have to be bothered by running out of ports for a long time. I know that the Thunderbolt 5 standard has been released not too long ago, but I think that it will take some time before Thunderbolt 5 devices become more affordable and accessible, so I think that this CalDigit TS4 dock is still a great option for most people. So what are some underrated desk upgrades that you think I should review? Let me know in the comment section below because I'm always looking for new products to review on this channel. If you're interested in my top picks for my everyday carry, check out this video over here because I'm sure that there will be at least one product that you'll find useful. See you in the next video. Bye bye.